Hey gang, welcome back to Big Board. Let's chat about not strategy so much, but just kind of the rules and strategizing, I guess, is really what I want to talk about. So let's get into it. I'm looking at the Fate of All, and we want to assess what the Persians' opening moves should be. I'm going to move the camera around a little bit, so hopefully it'll be bearable for you. I've got it on a little mini stand, so it kind of zoomed in a tad. All right, so we've got Eastern Greek states here, and the red meeple furthest north has Memnon's army, which is one of the more substantial armies on the map for the Persians at the moment. And here we have army number 2 that I've designated, and it's got a chap whose name is big that I can't pronounce, Spithridates, I think it is, or Dates, depending on who you are and where you're from. And he's also got a baggage train and 6 supply points just hanging out in Sardius here. Problem is, there's only a very small force in that hex, and so I need to probably work out how to either reinforce it or move it. And I think that army is here to support Memnon up further north. Now, what was Memnon doing up there at that point with an army that is, let's just see real quick, I think I wrote it down somewhere here. He's got 50 stacking points, and well, basically 50 combat factors as well. So that's reasonably substantial all the way north up here. And what was he doing up there historically? I don't know. Maybe someone does. So that's probably going to be significant where we move him and what he does to interdict or mess with or play with Alexander or Parmenion, Parmenion is here and Alexander's off screen. So there's that to consider. Then there's a scattering of other forces and some naval units, some mercenaries here, and mercenaries here. And they to me look like they're more garrisoning forces. I don't know why we would garrison Halicarnassos and not Miletos, but there you go. They're both there, and they're both ports, and same with Mindos as well. That's also right here. I guess we can't spread ourselves too thin, was the thinking, or that these guys can just, bounce around a little bit. Ephesus is here. So I don't think consolidating those forces is necessarily a good idea. They at the very least would be speed bumps for Alexander, that he would have to reduce those cities, siege them, or try and force them to resign, surrender. We've got some Rhodian triremes here that we'll probably look at working out how we can set them up to push supply, perhaps, into this region. I don't know. So we've got to think about what we're going to do there. There are some other forces way up there, and you know what? I don't think it's substantial. It's 1 light infantry and 2 light cav, and then a skirmisher unit. Where was that? Up here? Was it further? I think it was all the way up here. There we go. We may push those closer to the action over towards Memnon. Then there's the mountain pass here, and a fortress, and one unit holding up there, and 1 unit here, just off screen. Let me scoot around a little bit. I need to stand up now. So 1 light infantry here, so of no value in of itself, other than holding that particular location. And I've already just started setting up shipping lanes for supply, so I'm looking to use Tarsus here as a staging point for supply. So we'll build supply up here in this hex, make a significant depot, and then we can shuttle naval transport supply further along the coast to the west if needed, to support whatever happens. And then down in Syria, all sorts of stuff going on down here. Let's see if we can get a better angle. I'll try and angle this up a little bit. We've got, so this is the departure hex where from Sidon here. This is all, Damascus is right here. So this is basically the Syrian area. And then we've got a number of fleets here, a couple of which are quite powerful, and then some other triremes kind of just floating around. And I get well, let's finish off the map first, and then we'll go. So down here we've got another small fleet, a leader that can move these hoplites. There's not very many of them here, but some hoplites and skirmishers here can reinforce. And then I purchased, as part of the opening sequence of play, 10 stacking points worth of heavy infantry and medium infantry, and placed them in Persepolis so that we can bring them onto the map with Darius's other army that's sort of residing in Persepolis. Hopefully that's how you pronounce that. And we'll kind of go at it from there. Now, I'm thinking, and one of the reasons why I'm taking so long to get started here is that I think it's all going to go very badly, very quickly for Alexander if we get hyper aggressive with the Persians. And I suspect that within a few months, maybe 4 or 5 months, I will be able to consolidate all these naval units, buy enough troops, and push somewhere, either riding along the coastline, which is the safest way to move, right along the coastline, and then look to jump across at some point. And this is where I guess it would get risky, but there's one open sea hex here. So if I took a naval fleet that was substantial with an army and survived the crossing here or here, you can see those 2 hexes, right? There's another crossing there, but that's way deep in the woods with Greeks, and potentially tried to land in Athens or somewhere around this area here on the peninsula, and just mess with the Greek state's state of mind, particularly if I got Sparta to roll over and revolt. Then I could take the Spartans and the Persian force, and these 4, 5 cities, the red blocks, the Greeks have to keep control of those, or it's an automatic victory for the Persians. Now, there's some number of them that they need to control at a time. I believe it's 3. I'd have to look it up again. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, that could really mess up any lightning fast, blitzkrieg move that Alexander's force does. Even if he races down here and starts winning all the way along here, that all could come to a crashing halt if he's got to turn around and come back and reinforce, or spend money and supply on reinforcing the home guard that's based here. I think it's in this hex here. Yeah, Army 3 is here. So if they need reinforcing, that means that's forces that Alexander can't bring to bear or use. So what I've done is the Persians then, very first turn, I rolled on the bribery tables, spent the maximum amount of money that I could, about $2 million in today's dollars, 4 talents. And we have moved them into the pro-Persian camp already. If we move them again next month, when we roll again for them, then we will be able to roll for revolt, assuming Other factors have come into play, which include Alexander not being on the mainland Greek state peninsula, we'll call it that. And there's some other conditions as well, but wait to worry on what those are. The important one is you can't do it unless Sparta is pro-Persian at the number 2 level. It's level 1 and level 2. So that's pretty interesting, and we've got lots of other stuff going on here. We're just getting squared away. We've also got as you can see, it's a substantial playing area. Let me hold the camera up here. I'm not sure a lot of it is going to get used, but maybe this was for some of the other scenarios. I haven't really dug into it. Obviously, Babylon is all the way over there, so Alexander probably would like to conquer Babylon, right? So that's why I guess we've got to have that section of map, but we've got the whole of Arabia down here as well. And then, of course, you've got Egypt here. And then, of course, the coast of Africa as well. So anyway, lots of interesting things to be thinking about. And I really enjoy this part of the game, sort of noodling about what might happen, how it might happen, how we might do things, what are my options, what are the choices. And that's before we've really even moved anything. I've literally rolled a couple of dice for some bribery here in Thrace. And then I've set up one supply line, basically. Shipping supply line, and that's about it. Shipping route is what it's called. But anyway, enjoying the thinking exercises that are going on here. Lots of fun. Talk to you soon.